Hello?
Hello.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I'm supposed to change your mind that everything's fine?
Yeah, I think everything's fine.
Like in the world?
Yeah, just in general.
No, you can't, right?
What do you mean?
Right now, everything's fine?
Yeah.
The look in your eye is telling me that that's not true.
Do you agree with me that everything is fine?
I mean, I'm kind of here with that. I mean, I've been ignoring everything. So as far as I'm concerned,
Whenever I have something I think about that makes me distressed, I just stop thinking about it.
no, I totally agree with that sentiment.
Have you heard about what's going on in Ukraine?
What's going on in Ukraine?
Putin's invading.
Yeah.
That's not very fine
Why not?
I don't read the news.
because they're threatening the sovereignty of that country, and they do not have the right to do that.
Maybe just stop thinking about it. The only thing I think is not fine is people getting stressed out about like stuff that doesn't matter.
I mean, I think the obvious retort to that is, to those people, those things do matter. But, if they just convince themselves they didn't.
Yeah, like, if they just stopped caring about it, then they'd be fine.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. There's an old quote I like. It's let go or be dragged. I think they need to let go
Yeah, I say let go.
of Ukraine.
Well,
What about the protests going on today?
Which one?
The ones in the Beltway. All the truckers coming down from Ottawa.
That's fine.
Why?
What's wrong with that?
They're upset.
They can be upset. That's okay.
I don't know about that one.
Let it go. Look how much stress it's causing everybody.
Well, I mean, that's for sure. Stressful situation overall.
So I heard the other guy talk about Ukraine. I wanted to know your opinion on why that would make everything fine.
I just stop thinking about it.
But what about the people in Ukraine who might be losing their lives?
I don't think about them.
But then everything's fine to you and not to them. Russia's about to invade Ukraine. Joe Biden is doing nothing about it. China is looking at this with a lot of excitement, invading Taiwan, invading Hong Kong. We don't know if in 20, 30 years there's going to be an increase in an alliance with Russia and China. And then in the future they might even start a war with the West. And that's going to directly invade your life. What if we're living in a nuclear world? What if there are nuclear bombs being...
Have you played Fallout?
No, unfortunately no.
It's pretty cool. It's like you walk around. It's like a radiated waste. There's like these ghouls that attack you. You get guns, bang, bang.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound bad to me.
Why would everything be fine? Because I think the world is about relationships, right? So my family, my loved ones, my friends, if I don't have those anymore, if I lose them...
You're totally right. The world's about relationships. It's very important, like, keep these things. But you're also your mind is capable of, like, you can adapt. You can adapt. You can have a new family in the irradiated wastes.
Can I have a new family, though?
You can always find new people to connect with. And it doesn't matter what kind of circumstances those are.
I agree. Yeah, the problem is I agree. That's the problem. I agree, but I'm trying
I
to.
appreciate you playing devil's advocate for this clearly ludicrous idea that you should care about things.
Have you heard about Stoicism? And
Stoicism. Now, I'm a big fan of Stoicism.
that is why I think everything is fine.
My favorite Stoicist philosopher. His son was killed in front of his eyes, and he just said, "Eh."
That is called. There's a phase by Marcus Aurelius called amor fati, which is love your fate.
I love your fate. In fact, I love my fate so much I can't stop. I love it. I would get married to my fate if I could.
That is amazing. I definitely agree. Unfortunately, I don't disagree, so I can't be.
I'm glad we're in agreement here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You didn't get scholarship, that's not fine.
All right, who's next? Hi.
Everything's not fine.
What's not fine?
Everything's not fine.
Okay.
Wage gaps between women and males.
Yeah.
No. Yes, it is. That's not hypothetical. You can leave. There are so many things that are wrong with this world. I'm stressed out, and that's not a hypothetical. I just feel like everything's not fine.
But you could feel like things are fine if you just stop thinking about those things that were stressing you out.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, to what extent is ignorance is bliss something that you should live by? You have to be aware that things aren't fine and like live life thinking that.
But then I'd be.
You can't just,
I don't want to be stressed. I mean, then I'd be like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but right now I'm at peace. I'm happy. Whenever I think about something stressful, I stop thinking about it. If I started thinking about things like you do, then you're stressed, and then I would be stressed.
Yeah, but you can't just like not think about stuff.
But I have been doing that, and
Ignorance.
I feel really happy when I'm ignorant. Like,
But that's really offensive to say, kind of, almost.
but, like I feel like
like that's very privileged of you to say.
But like that's the thing. Like even privilege. I mean, I start thinking about, oh, I only have the capability of doing all these things because I'm in a privileged position, and then I stop thinking about it, and I feel good.
Yeah, you keep arguing that, but I don't think that's a valid argument.
Well-
I think we're gonna agree here, and I don't think you're gonna change your mind.
You're starting to make me feel not fine, and then now I want to stop thinking about it.
Yeah, so maybe you should stop thinking about me, but then I'm right here, so I'll keep poking you. What about that? He's trying to pretend that I'm not here. He's trying not to think about me because that will make him upset. Can't ignore me forever. I'll sit down here. I'll sit here, and I'll
All right, who's
ignore me.
all right? Who's next? Who's next? Like next time you start thinking about something that's stressing you out, just stop.
Just stop?
Stop.
Is that what you do?
Yeah. And I'm totally fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. I'm on TikTok and there's like just a bunch of videos about it. Like, just scroll?
Yeah.
But then it's gonna happen again.
Stop getting information from anywhere. Just like close your eyes, close your ears, la 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 la.
So I just shouldn't be getting information.
I can't remember the last time information has helped me out.
I mean, you can talk, you can read, you can write.
Yeah, and then as soon as I got all of that, it was downhill.
It's downhill.
Downhill from there.
How so?
Well, I started learning about like news events and stuff, and have you heard about this? Like new stuff goes on in the world. Just stop thinking about it.
As a mom, I don't want her to go to any of the social media, but she keeps going and she keeps learning something, sometimes something good. Just like this, that everything will be fine.
Why do I think everything's fine? Yeah. I just think, everything in the past was fine. Everything in the future will be fine. I think the only thing that... Okay, all right.
It's fine without using the word fine.
I just think everything's good. Everything in the past was good. Everything in the future will be good. I just think I think people are stressed out about nothing, And if they just stop thinking about things like, I don't know, these world events, the news, for example. I like to call it a news fandom. It's like the Marvel movies. Everyone keeps up with these ideas like, these countries. Just stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, let me put it another way, okay? I've been thinking about things for a while, and every time I think about something, it's like my life doesn't get any better. I just have more of these, like, questions in my head. I've just decided no more. I'm going to just be content.
Ballsy for coming to like the capital of political colleges and saying this.
Yeah, well, I think
People have a lot of things.
people who need to hear it the most. This whole thinking stuff. We peaked at thinking like 400 years ago. Ever since then, it was downhill.
My grandfather always used to say, live fast, die young, leave a good-looking corpse. And I think that's the main takeaway of today.
I like that philosophy. I mean, I don't normally like philosophy, but that one, I'll take that one.
I don't think the Holocaust was fine. You say that's fine?
Well, it ended up being fine,
Riley, you said the Holocaust was fine.
I just think everything's fine.
No, I disagree.
It was like, it was a bit of a pain point for a while, I agree. It was like, not great for a little bit. Long run, though. Israel's doing all right.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, I don't know that much about Israel right now.
Israel is top 3 in patents. They make the 3rd most inventions in the world, and they've got a population of like 6 million people.
You think that happened because of the Holocaust?
I think it encouraged them to really shine where their talents lie.
Interesting. All right. I gotta get to class, but...
All right, well, I'm glad we can have this conversation. Very important conversation. That's the thing. Conversation is just so important. So important to have conversation. I think people need to just be a little bit more chill, a little bit more zen. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. To exhale the bad vibes, and then stop thinking about climate change. Just stop thinking about it. Yeah, exactly. Because the more I think about climate change, the more nervous I get.
No, exactly. And when I think of bad things, it stresses me out. So I think it's better if we just ignore all the problems,
Yeah. Good. I'm glad we can propagate these ideas.
It's like censorship of history. In what way is ignoring what's incorrect with the world going to improve our lifestyle?
I just think that I'd be happier if I wasn't thinking about it.
But in what way is that a noble cause or a noble pursuit?
I'm not saying it's a noble cause. I'm just saying I personally am happier when I don't think about it.
But I don't think that's fair to let down the people you live with and the planet you live on.
But if I don't...
Make it part of your responsibility to fix what's wrong with your community and your environment.
But like, what if?
Don't you owe it to the people you live alongside to try and help them in the fight against injustices?
But sorry, I feel like your chakras are off. Like I feel like you're like not aligned properly, you know? Yeah, but like, you know, it's just like a kind of like a vibe. Like I feel like, you know, your vibes are like, you know, because like my vibes.
Tell me someone you care about.
Me?
Yourself?
She's right. She's right.
So you don't feel the need, like you have a shared responsibility to protect your loved ones against the way the world is?
Yeah, but like, yeah, but I mean, what's me being worried about it going to do? Like, if it happens, then I'll do something about it. But I don't need to.
It's too late.
Again,
It's already happening.
You know what? Your chakras are all off. Your chakras are all off. Chakra, it's like you know, your energy sources within your body.
You should be utilizing
7.
You did.
Mine 1, 2, 3, 4. The rest.
What is your life purpose?
Okay, all right. Now.
Selfish?
Okay. What's?
You're not living for anyone other than yourself.
Well, I'm just gonna stop thinking about this. I'm just gonna stop thinking about this. I'm just gonna stop.
At the end of the day, everything's going to be fine. I'm a very religious person, and so I would say, like, at the end, everything's going to be fine. But I think, like, saying everything's fine from a very secular, materialistic perspective, I wouldn't actually agree with that.
Well, in that respect, I agree with you even more, because at the end, everything becomes fine. The end point is fine. Everything leading up to that point is just kind of, you know.
No, I feel you. I definitely agree with that, yeah.
Things are not fine. The decline of U.S. power abroad means that totalitarian nations have a greater incentive and a greater ability to take over other nations and enforce their will in a world that we haven't seen since the 1930s when dictatorships ran amok. Climate change is likely going to cause vast global instability, causing millions of refugees to pour into other countries, causing mass destabilization and the rise of aggressive regimes. Are you all right? You need me to hold this? The information superhighway of the internet has caused so much information to be spread that we will enter an informational dark age where it's impossible to tell what's truth and fiction.